Hey brother, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing good, brother. Mira, let me see if I can explain to you as best as I can, okay? Or on the video, no? On the vehicle, brother, whenever you're buying a vehicle, see, buy or comprar, no? If you're gonna buy a vehicle, I always recommend for you guys to stay with it for at least 7 to 10 years. Okay, if you stay with it for 7 to 10 years, but at least you're gonna be without a payment for 3 to 4 years. No, that's where you can save up some more money and get into another one. If you give at least 20% down on the vehicle, brother, you can trade it in before your term is over. Okay. The thing is, whenever you're buying a vehicle, you gotta keep that vehicle anywhere between 5 to 6 years, right? Depending what term you chose. The problem is, but people are always trading the vehicle anywhere between 2 to 3 years. See, that's what happens. No, they're always either trading it for 2 or 3 years. The thing is, they bought it for 5 to 6 years. So I always recommend my customers, if they bought it for 6 years, come back in 5 years. If they bought it for 5 years, come back in 4 years. That way, they won't happen. They won't run into negative equity. Let me explain to you what pretty much that means, right? So the option the customer has whenever they're buying a vehicle, they only have one option: to pay it off. That vehicle is not theirs until they pay it off. See, a lot of people say, well, it's not mine if you got it on a lease. Well, if you're buying it, it's not going to be yours until you pay it off in full. Okay. Thing is, whenever they're buying a vehicle, brother, if you're buying a vehicle for 40 grand, right, you come back within 2 to 3 years, you're probably still going to owe 35 grand, but your vehicle is going to be worth 30 grand. So right off the bat, you're already minus 5 grand. It's not a plus, it's a minus 5 grand. So assuming if you're buying a $40,000 vehicle and you're looking at payments at $500 a month, well, now because you want to trade your vehicle before time, those 5 grand are going to be added into your new vehicle, and your vehicle is no longer going to cost 40, now it's going to cost 45. So your payment is going to go up by $100. Okay, because why? Because the way it works is, for every $1,000 a vehicle costs or goes down, your payment differs in $20 a month. If it goes up or down by 5 grand, your payment differs in $100 a month, right? So now we're not seeing 40, we're seeing 45. So your payment is gonna go up by $100. Okay. On the lease, brother, if you're looking at a lease and you give $1,000 down, your payment goes down by $35. Same scenario, or up, $35, right? You give down 2 grand, your payment goes down by $70. Okay. Let me explain to you the way the lease works. On the lease, there's always going to be anywhere between 10,500 miles to 15,000 miles a year. Depends how many you're driving or what's best for you. Okay, the option though, rather than going into 5 years and 6 years, the lease is 2 to 3 years, 24 months to 36 months, right? But on the lease, you have 4 options. Number 1 is to return the vehicle. Your term is over. If you chose 36 months, brother, if you chose 36 months and you're done with the vehicle and you just want to come back and return it and give me the keys, you give me the keys. But the moment you give me the keys, you gotta be careful with your miles. You gotta stay within range of what you chose, right? You gotta be careful with your miles, and you gotta be careful with your conditions. Although we provide you a wear care, right, that protects your vehicle up to $4,000 worth of damages. Okay, that $4,000 wear care is gonna cost you anywhere between 15 to 20 bucks a month, brother. Okay, but you got more options on the lease. Once your term is over, you can come back and trade it with us. Okay, if you trade it, you don't worry about the miles, okay, or the conditions. If you keep the vehicle, brother, if you keep it, you don't worry about the miles or the conditions. Return the vehicle and trade are 2 different things. Return is you walk off without a vehicle. Trade is you exchange it for something else. Okay, last option is you sell it. All these 3 options, brother, you gotta decide 4 months before your term is over. Okay, 4 months before your term is over. Now, how does the lease work? On the lease, if you're looking at a $40,000 vehicle, they're gonna finance you almost 50% of the vehicle. Okay, just assumption, running on the numbers at a 50%. It's actually 60%, but let's say 50. So they're gonna do 50%. So 40 divided by 2 is 20%. So we're gonna finance you $28,000 at 36 months or 2 years, right? Whatever you decide. Once you pay this in full, at the end of the term, you're gonna be able to say, you know what do you want to do with the rest of the balance, with the $20,000? You want to finance it for 2 years or 4 years, and that's if you decide to keep it. Okay, that's if you decide to keep it. If you decide to trade it and you're in good standards, well, that $20,000, brother, you start off from scratch. See, you start off from scratch. Okay, you start off from scratch again. Okay, but if you decide to keep it, though, you pay us those 20 grand anywhere between 2 years to 4 years. Okay, simple as that. Now, if you decide to sell it, you owe us 20 grand. If you can sell it for 22, you pocket those 2 grand and put them into your pocket and pay us the 20 grand. But if the vehicle is worth in the market 18 grand, well, you're already $2,000 difference, right? You're better off keeping it or trading it in. So anyway, brother, I hope it's self-explanatory. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll be more than glad to explain it to you again or over the phone and you viewing this paper. Thank you, brother. Bye-bye.